Dave would have me on camera. He would do the videos of me, and I'd be like, he'd be like, talk louder. When off camera, we're like cracking jokes, fucking around. And then once the camera comes on, I'm like, so the thing about...
Welcome back to another episode of Les Careful Boys. In our spirited conversations about transitions, we are talking about Nick today and how there was definitively and clearly a moment where there was no social media. You're a shy guy. I remember
he's a transgender.
When you first came on as a guest with JK, you didn't even have the K on your IG type shit.
Now you're doing the most podcasts out of everybody.
Yeah, now you're doing more podcasts than all of us.
That's true.
You're on like a premier, highest level MMA podcast, getting invited out to all these events and stuff like that.
Watch, Tony Robbins is next, dude. He's gonna be.
I'm gonna shake that guy's big old hand, dude.
What is that like for people who are like, don't have a social media, just doing their profession, and then suddenly now you're the king?
That's not true.
Both the funniest guy on JK.
Bro, stop it. I'm still really bad at social media.
What was going through your mind though when you were all of a sudden getting invited to all of, like, from Genius Brain to JK to, all this stuff? You're like, what the fuck?
I think the key word is being reluctant the whole time. I just wasn't sure. Like,
what makes you say yes though if you don't want to do it so bad?
Well, that's what reluctant is. You still do it, you just don't want to do it. So you're in the middle.
Like, I just never thought, I never imagined I would be doing like a show or a podcast or any of that stuff. Like, I never thought.
Do you know that you're entertaining and you're like easy to talk to?
I think I can be, but it's inconsistent. If I'm being real, I think I'm inconsistent.
Well, why do you think we all invite you then? All of us, from David to all, like.
My thoughts during the process was, they got to go down the roster. That's what I thought. I thought you guys just didn't have anybody. And I think that's partly true. I think there is truth to that.
We didn't have anybody.
Yeah, like to put on like the show, or something that would fit the mold of whatever we were doing.
You'll still think that after so many times being pulled in that many directions? You still think it's just people don't have nobody?
So yeah, sometimes, to this day, probably.
The most in-demand guy.
Stop, please. When you say that, it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm getting hot as I think about this. Yeah, I just never thought I would be doing social media. My social media at the time, before I met David, was like I was just doing mitt videos. I was just like holding mitts for my clients, like just showing, like the kids I coach, the people I coach, and just highlighting that. And I was able to like get some traction with that because my buddy was like, all right, you should keep posting this. And I was like, okay, cool. And it started, that picture's so old, it's so crazy.
Damn.
Looks like AI, dude.
That looks professional.
Yeah, I wore a collared shirt. It was perfect.
That is professional.
That was when I transitioned to the fitness gym, and I was like, all right, I'm a strength conditioning coach now. I'm working with regular people. I got to do the collared button-up classic strength conditioning thing, right? Strength coach thing.
Name tech.
Yeah.
Do you have the raws from this shoot?
No. I don't know what that means. But yeah, so then when I started training David was like, he kept encouraging me, you should do social media. And I'm like,
dude, that's got to mean a lot coming from David, who like will openly hate anybody that's not good at something.
But at the time though, bro, like what I'm telling you is, I just was like, he probably says that to everybody.
How, David?
Well, because he didn't know David back then.
Oh, okay.
How did he even find you?
David found me on Yelp.
What? You were on Yelp?
I just was on Yelp. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I have like a Yelp page.
And he thought it was going to be like a white guy.
He thought it was going to be a white dude.
But it's also on my Yelp page. There's a bunch of Asian people on there. You know what I mean? Like, it shows the pictures of me training people. You know?
Thought those were POV shots.
When he reached out to you, did you know who he was already?
I saw, he followed me on Instagram, and I saw like the check mark, and I was like, who the fuck is this? And I clicked on it, and he had like 600K or something like that. And I was like, God damn, that's crazy.
So you had never seen him in anything?
But I didn't put two and two together. He was the UCLA girl guy.
The Ching Chang Ling Long. Yeah.
And then I saw his page, and I was like, oh, he's friends with the JK guys.
Oh, so you knew us?
I knew you guys' skits. I've seen your skits.
Oh.
And that was like the extent of it. I knew you guys did the Asian accents, and I was like, oh, that's so crazy. And I was like, oh, I guess these guys are all like nearby. And I was like, all right, cool. So then when David came, that's weird, dude. I started training David, and at first I was like, yo, this guy's kind of weird at first. Like he was kind of like cold, So I was like, oh, what's this guy's deal?
He was cold?
A little bit, because I think he was trying to suss me out too. Like, because he saw me, he was like, what the fuck is this dude?
This guy's not white.
And then when I started training him, I think that's when he started to realize that like, okay, this guy could actually teach me stuff. And like, you know, like when you coach people, you're trying to, especially when you first see somebody, you want to make those first touches of like, give them like little light bulb moments, little aha moments where something that they were having a problem with that you could like solve right away. And, you know, when you get new beginners, you know exactly what those beats are. So you know how to like fix those as you go. Cause you know, I spent all my days in the gym. I would be training clients from 6 a.m. to like 9 p.m. like every day. Like that's what I was doing. I was training kids, adults, all kinds of folks. So I was like comfortable with that. So the more I started working with David, he was like, hey, you should be on camera more. I'm going to bring a video crew and we're going to film our training. And I was like, oh, great, dude. And at the time,
this guy's gonna make me a star.
No, not even. Well, at the time, I was so nervous because I was so worried about what people thought about me. I felt like a phony. I felt like I didn't have a legit.
Yeah, imposter syndrome and shit.
100%. I didn't have a legit amateur career. I didn't have a legit professional career. So I was just a guy who just coached, and that was it. So I was like, who the fuck am I? So when he came, I was like worried. I was like, fuck, am I gonna be able to, like, you know, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get, people are gonna, you know, do a fraud check on me. They're gonna know I'm fake, you know, I'm phony or whatever the fuck, right? Or I'm not that good, whatever, like whatever voices you have in your head,
Yeah.
which is all the worst. So then, you know, Dave would have me on camera. He would do the videos of me, and I'd be like, you know, like he'd be like, talk louder. Like, he would, and Joe always makes this joke too, like when off camera we're like cracking jokes, fucking around, and then once the camera comes on, I'm like, so the thing about, and sometimes too, it's like you're in a defensive mode, you don't even realize you're doing it, and then you watch the video and you're like, oh fuck, what the fuck is wrong with this guy, you know? So, and then he would do content with me, and he would be like, all right, I'm gonna take you to this taco truck or some shit. And I was like, oh, are you sure? He's like, yeah, just come with me. And I was like, are you sure? You know, like that type of shit, right? And then the more he would make me do stuff, the more I'd be like, all right, I feel a little more comfortable. And he's like, hey, do you want to do a podcast? And I was like, what, dude? Like every single time I was like, what? Oh my God. I was just so nervous all the time. We did a podcast, it was me and him. This is when he shot Genius Brain out of his house. And it's so funny. He pressed record for the first like 20 minutes. He's like, hey, you want to take a break? And I was like, oh, all right. Okay, cool, fine, whatever. He goes to the camera. I hear buttons pressing. He's like, so we're going to start over again. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, it was terrible. You're so quiet. You got to fuck it. And he was like telling me, he's like, you got to talk, bro. Like have some confidence. Have it. Like, you got to be a little bit more animated, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, okay, oh, cool. And then he did it again. Wow. And then like I felt better with it. And then he kept inviting me back to different podcasts. And the whole time in my head, I'm like, dude, I'm just sitting there. I'm not even fucking saying anything. Like I'm just like interjecting here and there or whatever. Cause you know how David is. That fool could talk. And when you see a guy who's so comfortable on camera and you know you're not, you're like, whoa, what the, like you're kind of just watching in awe. And I think when I was doing JK too, I was just kind of like busy watching the room instead of like actively participating. So yeah, it was just such a weird transition, man. Like I just didn't feel comfortable. To this day, I don't feel comfortable.
You still don't feel comfortable?
I feel more comfortable now, but fuck, dude, it took me like 10 fucking years, I think.
He's the perfect yin to your yang. Yeah. Like what a great person to have met to like force you into this shit.
Dude. Yeah.
And he really did, bro. And I thank David for everything, bro, because he really taught me how to do. And to this day, like when I do the MMA show with him, I get to watch how he fucking does his moves because he's really good at what he does.
Really good.
He's really fucking good though.
He's really good. But he's so good that he also sees it. He wouldn't be like putting you in that position if you didn't like make him crack up or just make him think about certain things in a certain way when you're off camera. And it's like, dude, this could translate to on camera.
Yeah, but in my head, I don't think that, right?
You're also a good straight man to him.
Yeah, I think I know how to play off with David. You know?
You're both funnier because of your dynamic.
And it's because I've known him for so long. We spent so many hours like shooting the shit, right? And I think when I first came on JK, I didn't really know everybody that well. Like I knew Bart really well. I knew Joe really well. I didn't know you guys as well. So like integrating with the group was kind of like, was a little transitioning.
But them coming around at the same time was like them being regular was kind of at the same time too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that they were here for eons and shit.
For sure. But
well, you know, I've been
as a regular.
I felt like I was the outsider coming into the group and I didn't really know the world.
Damn, that's weird. I felt like you was already there when I came.
But you know, like I think everyone, like because we all did it together, it felt like, all right, this is our group. Like This is us trying to do something. And I think that made it easier for it to be like, all right, cool. I'm like, this is like our core group. This is like my safe space, whatever you want to call it.
Dude, when Ryan showed up, I was like, welcome to my world. And then he's like, yeah, I went to high school with Joe Mama. And I was like, fuck, I'm... Oh, man.
To your world.
He wins again.
Stupid.
Number one again.
The fact that I might think it's Anthony's world.
And for me, I think I'm very avoidant with things that I'm like kind of don't want to do. And social media and being on camera was always one of those things. And like to this day, it kind of is too, right?
Does a part of you feel like if you change too much and you got confident, you may not be as good at it anymore?
I think you become insufferable.
Him not wanting to is part of the charm.
It is. It's we needed a straight man.
But also too, like you notice, like when you listen to certain podcasters or people that do this, like media stuff, once they start smelling their farts too much, it's over, bro.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he can't be, it depends on where you're at too, right? Like here, sure. But he goes to like a UFC event that he's covering. You can't be like reluctant podcaster there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Can you?
When you have to go interview people and they're like, all right, Nick, you have to like do the intro. I have to like turn it on. And then sometimes you do it and you're like, oh shit, I do know how to do this kinda, but it's still like foreign.
You can still be the relatable human podcaster, but like you have to be like on it. The industry is so big, the profession is so huge, the amount of people that are paying attention.
The reluctant podcaster though is like a good character. Where he's interviewing, he's like, so
you want to answer questions,
yeah,
maybe? Or,
you know.
Do you not want me here?
Fighter's like, hey, hold on. Do you want to take a break? That wasn't very good for me. Can we redo that?
They start feeling bad for him and
We're
shit.
gonna try to make this as fast as possible. Do you think you're gonna win? Okay, I'll see you later.
Yeah, hurry up. I'm really nervous. Thank you.
The socially nervous podcaster.
I can't look in your eyes. I can't look in your eyes.
Didn't that happen to you recently where Gilbert went up, asked a question? It was like the perfect question. And then you went up and they're like, we got no time. We got to go.
They made me feel unwelcome. And that was like, dude, what am I doing here? And my question was terrible, dude. And people were like commenting like, yo, what the fuck was your question? And I was like, Gil made me say it. But like to me, like that makes me laugh. Like me going through those situations.
I think it makes everybody laugh.
Yeah, for sure.
It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But
But it's also not a bit. Like, that's really you. That's what makes it tight.
bro, the light is like shining. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm watching people that I've been watching on TV for so long, and you're like talking to them. You're like, and they're all looking at me. You're like, oh, what the fuck is this, dude?
For them to announce like, all right, that question was so bad, we're just going to wrap it up.
No, it was like, we're gonna wrap it up, but I guess you could ask a question. Go ahead.
I wish you asked something like, what's your favorite color?
I honestly, that would have been a better question, maybe.
What was your question?
Gil wanted me to ask a question so we can clip it,
Yeah, so he sabotaged you.
so we can get another guy on,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
another like famous coach, and it was referencing to the guy who doesn't speak like his. Out of all the guys on the panel, he doesn't speak English the best at all. He's a Mandarin speaker. So I asked him, I was like, hey, you've been training with J Flow Judo. Are we going to see some of that judo in this fight against Sean O'Malley? And then you can't even hear what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. And then as soon as he finishes it, it's like one sentence. They're like, all right, guys, thank you very much. We'll see you guys later.
He goes, I like a pepperoni
dude.
pizza.
And they were like behind on the schedule. So they were like trying to get to the next thing.
That's actually a good question, though.
That's what I thought. But thank you for backing me up on that.
Do you think the other people might not even have known who J Flow is? Maybe.
You probably didn't even hear half my question. Like that's the other thing too. Is like the audio is not that good.
I see.
But it is what it is. But it's funny how I think the lesson is the things you kind of try to avoid. Sometimes it just keeps pulling you back. It just keeps pulling you in, and you kind of have to face it one way or the other. You know.
That's so funny. You know how many people would love to be in your shoes and they want it so badly, and then they want to fucking be on camera and they want to be famous or have a following, and they don't get any of that?
Because I think the thing is like I'm not, and I think this is for anybody really. Like I've never been interested in like trying to be famous or be known or anything, because I just feel like it's icky and it's like a one-way fast track to being miserable, you know? So like that's never been my metric. It's always been like, okay, if we're doing this show, how we can like make someone's commute better, or things like that, like for everyday people or for the show, like how we could elevate the sport and the athletes. Like to me, that's what I'm thinking of, and that's how I feel like I could do my part. So when I think about it that way, it makes me more of a feel of a reason to be like, all right, this is why we should be promoting this. For me, anytime my face is on something, like a clip or something, I just go, ugh, I don't even want to look at it.
At least you're part of a podcast like with casuals that focuses on something you genuinely like.
That we got love for.
Here we focus on hating mainland Chinese.
And that's my passion.
You genuinely like that.
This is what I love to do.
Yeah, it's like it seems like they're integrated well into stuff that you're interested in already. So you don't have to try as hard,
No.
But the thing about like the JK stuff is like, I think about it as we're serving a community that you guys have built from the ground up. That's a really strong, like one of a kind community that I've been like welcomed into. So I feel like in my head, it's like, it's not for like me or anything. It's like, it's for the people that watch this and that spend all their time. Like we're with these people in their day,
that know the upload schedule and they're on it. Yeah,
exactly. And it's crazy to think, and like especially when we saw everyone come to that meetup, that's when I started to really be like, holy shit, dude, this is like real.
There's people behind the views.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Like this is actually crazy.
And they're not the commenters.
No.
Well, sometimes too, it's just numbers, right? You just like you don't know how to process that. Like it doesn't make sense. And
Yeah, the good people, man.
yeah, and they look at you like, oh my god, like thank you for coming. You're like, what the fuck? Like it's the craziest. I've never had an experience like that. So like seeing that firsthand was like, yo, this is actually crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Thanks for having me on.